Poštovani gledaoci, dobar dan. Vi gledate još jedno izdanje emisije Pola, sata, Demostata. Naša današnja gošća je ambasadorka Kraljevine Norveške u Srbiji, Kristin Melsom. Your Excellency, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. Let's start with our usual first question. Tell us something more about bilateral relations between your country and Serbia. What part of that cooperation you're most proud of?
Yes, the bilateral relation between Serbia and Norway is very good and has been good for decades. Now I would say that I'm most proud of our support for Serbia's EU integration process, where we have experts that we finance assisting in different ministries, in particular in energy and in European integration. In addition to that, we also support civil society in Serbia in different projects. We have a huge program for the region called Smart Balkans. But also support for other issues related to human rights and media. I would also say that I'm particularly proud of the assistance that we gave to Serbia after this terrible school shooting, soon to be 2 years ago, where we actually assisted with psychologists, but also about the knowledge that we could share with Serbia after our traumatic shooting incidents in 2011.
It's good to know that. It was after Ribnikar incident.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we also had Dubona and Malo Orašje as well. Unfortunately,
yes.
two shootings, one after the other. What are the plans for our country's cooperation in this year?
Well, this year we continue with our support for EU integration with our program, which is operated by UNOPS, with the experts to the ministries. We also continue with our Smart Balkan program, in addition to human rights support. And we have also had a program supporting and empowering women in rural areas. So that are some of the areas. But if I should talk a little broader, of course, we are also supporting, or we are collaborating when it comes to cultural events. In literature, for instance, you have very good translators here. So Norwegian literature is translated into Serbian, but also in music, different type of music, and also photography.
So you're an ambassador from a NATO ally. How do you see NATO today from your perspective?
Well, from a Norwegian perspective, NATO remains very important for Norway. This is our security guarantee. And when you think about the situation today where you have one European country, Russia, who has aggressive attacked another European country, Ukraine. Of course, for a small country with a border with Russia, it's important to not stand alone. So for us, it is a security guarantee, but it also, of course, also sharing political values as well. So NATO is also a community of values where we can discuss the very important security policy issues which concerns all of us.
Nowadays, we live in a very complex situation in the world, but also in the region. So having in mind that complex situation, what is the added value of NATO?
Well, NATO is first and foremost a deterrence organization. So based on that, we are in alliance together. The 32 countries now means that we want to avoid war. We want to avoid that any country attack one of the members. So this is the important message. And then, of course, we together also can discuss political issues and see how we can handle the situation as we see it.
Madam Ambassador, NATO is usually perceived as a purely military organization, but it's not just about that. It's also a political organization.
Yes, it is a community of values, and you must not forget that all decisions are made on the political level. So the military is an instrument if the diplomatic way of handling a crisis is not working, then we have tools in the toolbox, which is the military. But first and foremost, it is a political organization where the decisions are made by the North Atlantic Council, which is the main body where the decisions are made.
How important, in your opinion, is the partnership, but also the cooperation between not only partnering countries, but also the countries that are allies and also the countries that are allies and partnering countries?
Well, partnerships is a possibility for countries that for certain decisions will not become members of NATO, either because they are outside the North Atlantic sphere, but at the same time we like to cooperate with the alliance, and it able the countries to collaborate on military areas and to work together. If, for instance, we will have an operation outside the NATO as such, it's possible for the military in the different countries to actually, understand each other, know the concepts. And so I think, for the partner countries, this is a way of learn, develop, and cooperate.
And how important is the political dialogue between the allies and partnering countries such as Serbia?
It's also very important. We need to get all kind of aspects, all kind of views into the discussion. And where the country is located will have an impact on what view this country will have, and also the experience. So I think that best decisions are made when you have all kind of aspects into the discussion.
And all kind of aspects covered.
Exactly.
What are your views on NATO's partnership with Serbia? We are talking about dialogue between allies and also partnering countries. What do you think about this partnership?
This partnership, which has lasted actually since 2006, is a very long-standing and good partnership in different areas, and made it possible for Serbia to cooperate with NATO countries in different exercises, but also in missions. So I find it, very solid and good, and I hope that it will continue.
Do you think it will improve, and in what way?
Well, as long as both sides want it to improve, it will be possible.
What do you think are the main advantages of this partnership, but the advantages for Serbia as well as the advantages for NATO?
Well, the advantages is that we learn from each other, and that we together can do something which is bigger than ourselves. We share experiences. As I said, dialogue is very important, but also knowledge. So I think that we all benefit from cooperating together.
We all know what happened in March of 1999. We have that heavy legacy of past. It's something that not only Serbia, but also the countries of the Western Balkans underwent. How do you assess, if we look at that broader regional context, how do you assess what the Western Balkans countries have undergone since 1999 till today?
Well, of course, I can understand, the wounds that the bombing from 1999 left on Serbia, and we should not forget that. At the same time, we are in a different Europe today than we were in the 90s, and it is important to learn from history, but also to move on. And when you look today for the region, you have actually 4 of the former Yugoslavian provinces, the countries that were part of Yugoslavia, are more members of NATO. And then you have a 5th country also from the Western Balkan members of NATO. So, the region has changed tremendously. So in one way, you now have Serbia as an island in between NATO countries. And this also has an impact on Serbian security.
When we are talking about security, there is also a topic of disinformation. There is a lot of disinformation circulating, not only about NATO, but also the overall situation in the Western Balkans. It's a big threat for security. What can the Western Balkans countries do?
Well, it is important to acknowledge that we have a problem and that this information is part of the flow of information. The flow is so tremendously huge. So media literacy, not illiteracy, but literacy is important, that you understand what is true and what is false. And that means also that you need a pluralistic media. You need to have different sources and based on these sources make your own decision on what you believe in.
And a lot of critical thinking.
Absolutely.
What do you think the future is going to bring to the countries of Western Balkans?
Well, I hope that the EU integration process will continue, because I think this is important if you want to develop the democracies in these countries. You are part of Europe. And we want you to be part of this community, which I think will help in prosperity, but also in development of rule of law, democratic values, and make it, a good place to live in the future.
The youth is definitely the most important part of that future, not only the youth in Serbia, but also in the broader regional context in the whole Western Balkans. What would be your message for the youth of the whole region?
Well, I will say, do not forget that you are part of Europe. Support these forces that want to develop your countries in a democratic way. Values are very important. This is important for the prosperity, for the economic growth of your country. And I will also say that, yes, we know the historic past, but do not dwell too much with it. Learn from it and move on.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For this interview and for these great messages for the end.
Thank you.
Poštovani gledaoci i slušaoci Demostata, bilo ovo još jedno izdanje emisije Pola, sata, Demostata sa ambasadorkom Kraljevine Norveške u Srbiji, Kristin Melsom. Do sljedećeg viđenja i slušanja ne zaboravite da se pretplatite na naš YouTube kanal, ali i da nas zapratite na svim društvenim mrežama Demostata. Moje ime je Tamara Bajčić, doviđenja i prijatno.